Birmingham is lucky enough to receive £90,000 over 2 years so we can tackle antisocial behaviour and street drinking problems. We can't thank Baroness, Newlove and Communities Local Government enough for that, because what it means is we've got the chance to develop a long-term process. If it wasn't for that, we'd have short-term projects, but that would never make enough difference to the issues that we have in Moseley. There's been all sorts of successes so far since we started.
You know, the feedback from residents who actually live in Moseley Village has been really, really positive, as has it for traders, that, you know, almost the daily nightmare of being accosted as you come out of your property, you know, the experience of people turning up on your doorstep drunk has gone away. And what we have to now do is ensure that we put in place the solutions that make sure it doesn't come back.
Moseley's got a long-standing issue of street drinking, where we get a lot of homeless people, or people with substance abuse issues, who will just hang around on the street drinking during the day. It's quite a nice little area, in all honesty. It's got a lot of shops there, attracts a lot of people in, and that's creating antisocial behaviour and becoming an issue for the police that we need to deal with.
I think things have got a wee bit out of hand, and I think now is the time to start to address it, but in a very structured way, and with actually putting support in place.
This is a new partnership approach, a new opportunity, bringing the different agencies together and looking at new ways of tackling the issue. Aligning ourselves with, we have a new Section 222 enforcement approach and partnership with the police, but we want to sit alongside that with the support networks that go to help some very vulnerable people in the community. In simple terms, the approach that we've said to partners we're adopting in Moseley is the 3 E's. The 3 E's are enforcement, which is the very first aspect to put in place, engagement, both with the community and also changing perceptions, changing behaviours, and we've also got education.
Well, the biggest thing we've had at the moment so far has been the Section 222 order, which basically is it's like an injunction that covers an area of Moseley.
I think that's a great idea, because you do need enforcement. You need to draw a line, really, to say that this is not acceptable. It is antisocial behaviour. But then also, if someone has got a problem or a serious issue around alcohol, it's good to be able to offer support.
I understand where this is coming from, because there was had a lot of complaints, people having sex in the graveyard and stuff, which isn't the best idea in the world. But to move it out of 2 miles square of Moseley, all you're doing is pushing it onto the mental hospital, Church Road, and we're drinking elsewhere.
Of course, with the CAP as well, what we've got is we've got people like Cypher, people like Alcoholics Anonymous, other support agencies, so we can then say, but how about coming and engaging with these people? These people can help you, these people can make a difference. And what that's doing is it's giving us an overall sort of carrot and stick approach, where we're getting people to force some change because they can't, because they're in breach of the law, and then actually direct them towards someone who can help them and make a difference.
The very first thing that we're trying to do in the next phase of work is to work with agencies like Cypher Fireside, Midland Harbour Sleepers Team, Aquarius, Health, Housing, and lots of other agencies, because they're the ones that can make a difference to the individuals long term, not just on the short term enforcement side.
I think that the first scenario of the Aquarius coming up, I thought I was a perfect idea, and I'm talking to them about alcohol problems.
We need to make a short-term difference with enforcement, a long-term difference by getting involved with other partners to try and make a dent in those issues. The key one really is the ability to pull together the partners who sit in the community, and we now want to facilitate the overarching steering group and look at the commissioning of the services that are needed to reduce the impact of street drinking, to help those street drinkers themselves, but also to build some capacity in the community to deal with it in a more sustainable way in the future.
The police can only lock these individuals up. They let them go within 24 hours they're back, and the police can keep doing that, but it doesn't help solve the situation.
Well, I mean, the easy sort of results are we arrest people for drunken disorderly or drunken incapable or breaching the peace or offences along those lines, but that's really just a short-term solution. What we've been looking to do is to try some different ways of approaching the problem through the Community Alcohol Partnership and through the Section 222 order that we've recently got for the Moseley area, so that rather than just sort of taking the problem away for a day or so. We're actually taking the problem away for a day or so and then doing something that's going to impact on the people who are suffering and the people who are having the issues and actually address it and deal with it and make it all sustainable, sort of bundled together.
We're very experienced at engaging with people that don't necessarily want to engage or haven't engaged too well previously with different agencies.
This enables us to address issues around housing and homelessness, physical and mental health, and substance misuse, which allows us to really address those complex needs for the long term.
In Moseley at the moment, Aquarius are part of the CAP Community Alcohol Partnership. We work closely with Cypher and Irish in Birmingham, who are other alcohol providers within Birmingham. We're looking at identifying training that we can go out and provide to young people, adults, raising awareness within the public about alcohol and the issues around alcohol.
So therefore we are involving other agencies in our service delivery. So we are working closely with Aquarius, Cypher and other agencies to try to support customers with all the needs that they presented.
So from a Birmingham Trading Standards point of view, we'll continue to offer advice to businesses to ensure that they are complying with the legislation. We'll also follow this up with test purchases to ensure that they are complying. So on a regular basis, both the police and trading standards will carry out covert test purchases where we'll send young people in to attempt to purchase alcohol or tobacco products.
In Moseley, begging and aggressive begging, in particular in recent months, has been a big problem for the community.
Daniela's a vendor who is in Moseley. She stands outside the co-op. That's our only legitimate pitch. People who walk around so trying to sell the big issue late at night and who are not on that pitch aren't legitimate sellers.
Please don't give money to people who are begging. It's better to focus that money or focus what people want to do towards the agencies that can actually do some very structured and very good interventional work with people to get them to start to look at what's happening and why things are so difficult for them. So it's well intended, but please don't do it. Focus it in a much more positive way and then we can work with people.
Well, it's been a big partnership approach, really. I mean, it hasn't just been the police or just the council. We've had people from BASB, we've had people from council employees, police, all sorts of different support agencies coming together to actually make a difference.
We've got 28 people that have come forward to give statements. They're getting their antisocial behaviour problems sorted. We've got a number of those cases being dealt with by Cypher Fireside, outreach teams, education, health people. Those people are trying to make sure that those problems don't return to Moseley. To get that long-term progress might not be seen by the public straight away, but it's absolutely vital if we try and make sure this approach works.
We've got a pack together preventing the sales, illegal sales in Birmingham. The pack is designed for retailers to become a responsible retailer, and this is giving them all the information that they would need to act as a responsible retailer to do with the prevention of illegal sales and underage sales to young people. Alright, what's inside the back is a series of fact leaflets giving the retailers all the information that they would need to act as a responsible retailer. Individual fact sheets cover alcohol, tobacco, and there's also other information there on shisha products and other age-related products in particular. But the main focus is to do with the prevention of illegal sales to underage children.
We had a customer who was constantly going through this revolving door, so going through the services, then falling out through the services, being arrested over, I think, 60 times. And we tried to combine support with enforcement. With this particular individual, the hostel system did not work for him, so we challenged ourselves and we actually took a risk and offered the customer a tenancy. And the result was very positive because the customer now is engaging with the services. He's working towards harm reduction, he's engaging with alcohol services, and he is in his tenancy for, I think, over 4 months, which is a great result if you've been living really chaotic lifestyle.
Okay, the best bar on is an award for pubs, clubs, student bars across Birmingham. where they apply for the award and then they are assessed against the strict criteria, and once they've met that criteria, they're then given a Best Bar None sticker. They then go on to like the award, which is like an Oscar night, where in each category then the award is voted by residents of Birmingham or visitors to Birmingham. But the main focus really is promoting a safe environment for people who can go out and drink in a safe environment and socially responsible. Obviously that has a knock-on effect, because once they've got the award, one of the criteria is a knock-on effect for like antisocial behaviour. So really it's about retailers taking that, and a lot of retailers in Birmingham, certainly the pubs and clubs, are taking this on board and want to be a part of this fantastic award.
Well, we've got 2 years worth of funding for the CAP, which is great. We'll make it run for 2 years. But in this 2-year process, we've only got a 2-year window where it's funded. What we've got to do is we've got to make a big difference now, get people on the road to recovery, get people getting the assistance and the help that they need.
I think what I'm looking for over the 2 years is to have an initial impact on the scale of the problem that we have at the moment, and I think early on we'll see that impact occurring already. But to put in place a whole series of arrangements, particularly led out by the community, that are there after the 2 years of funding is gone, so that we don't do this for 2 years and then it comes back. So there's some sustainability.
So the partnership working, I mean, it's working very well at the moment. You know, with various organisations which we're working with, and well, eventually to eradicate of sleeping and begging. That's what we're aiming to do.
I think in 2 years' time we would like to have even stronger multi-agency approach, so sharing good practice, trying to work as a team to support the most vulnerable individuals. I think what would be good in 2 years' time is trying to replicate the approach that we are currently seeing in Moseley to other areas, and trying to involve customers who are street drinking and begging in Moseley in some kind of meaningful activities, so it will help them to exit the street culture.
In 2 years' time, Moseley hopefully will have not just an improvement short term in the street drinking and the problems, it will long term have more people with more knowledge and more information. We'll actually have a process which we can build on and follow that process to make sure that the problems are reduced.
I hope very much there'll be a really strong multi-agency approach that networks now, the networking that's being done now that's with the police, that's with alcohol support agencies, homeless agencies, accommodation providers. It should all come together that people will be fast-tracked much quicker and much more effectively to offer support in a much more structured and proactive way. I think it definitely needs to be that multi-agency approach, because that will be more effective, because one size does not fit all, and we know that very much, and we're very happy to work with other agencies, and I think in a couple of years' time, if that's happening in a very structured way, that will be much, much better. Things will get nipped in the bud a lot quicker.